Stand by. The vacuum tubes are warming up. This is a special live broadcast right here on Georgia Radio.
Well, good evening, everybody. This is Wade. I'm here with Matt Jolly on Georgia Radio. And check out our new app, My Georgia Radio. My Georgia Radio. A lot of good features on there. It's a new and improved Georgia Radio. Right, Matt?
That's right. You can hear Wade Peebles on your alarm now if you want to. He'll wake you up in the morning. So listen, the My Georgia Radio.
That would be terrible,
app.
Matt.
Yeah,
that would be terrible.
They'd get out of bed and turn it off.
It's like Dr. Phil having him do a recording for your alarm. You need to wake up.
You need to wake up.
It's up. Yeah.
No, so here's the cool thing. It's for iPhones and Androids. Yeah, and then you can play the station. It works on your car now. It works on all kind of fun stuff. But really great. And the cool thing is now you can send the studio a no-kidding recording. If you want to do a request or dedication or send something into this show, to Georgia Folk and Farm Life, you can make an audio message. You can send us a picture. You can even call the station right there through the app.
Well, it's funny this week that my buddy Randy Olive asked me to post about old-time radio dedications, how you could call and actually make a dedication. Yeah. And before social media, that was a great thing. But you actually, in the very week Randy mentioned that, you magically made it appear.
We made it appear.
That's good.
Well, and the cool thing is you can do up to 2 minutes. You can have a manifesto
mini show, mini. Yeah, you can get on. Yeah, you can do a lot of harm. Well, listen, we get back down to this is the Georgia Folk and Farm Life radio show, and
brought to you by
Meeks Brothers Cattle.
That's right.
They make some fine beef. While you're sleeping, they're making beef, buddy. They're making the very best.
That's why I like to say nobody beats Meeks Meats.
And I let you say that, and I never do.
Yeah. The Meeks Brothers Cattle Company, great stuff.
They are great. They're a great family operation, yes, and we thank them for sponsoring us. And tonight we have a great guest, and I know Cal chomping at the bit, Cal Avery. And if some of y'all know, I say a lot of you know, everybody around the area where I live, out in Swainsboro, where Cal is from this area, knows Cal, and he knew his dad, and he know his wife, Mary Sue, and remember her mother at the school, and Miss May Jean, and been involved in local education and business and various just great community people. And Cal and most other things he's done, he got in the last few years doing some great photography and archiving a lot of the old buildings in our area and all over. And he and Mary Sue have traveled to Ireland, I know, twice, right, Cal?
Actually, 5 times.
5 times? What a mystery. That's pretty cool. Yeah. 5 times. Okay, well, I'm way behind, so we had discussed this.
Those grandchildren that moved over there will do funny things to you and make you want to keep going.
I got you. And then y'all have had a great time traveling. I know that traveling, but what traveling does is just, if you're a photographer, it's got to be great to go somewhere like Ireland. But you don't have to go that far from home. You travel around Georgia and you were in Alabama last week with a friend. Am I right? Visiting another photographer friend.
That's a good photographer friend of mine named Conley Bush. He took me on a tour of barns and other things in North Alabama. And just had and actually got to meet my photography hero while I was over there.
Wow!
But I'll get into that a little more later on when we talk about some other things.
Okay. Well, what I wanted to mention is that you started off as the barn hunter. Now there's a group of you, and you're the head honcho, I think. The fearless leader, and you've got some great guys that join the team and become the barn hunters, more or less. And y'all, I know different ones at different times. Not, I guess, all of you every time, but some of you go out as often as you can, and you photograph. And you're one of those that's got an eye for artistic photography. And after you take a photograph, you can enhance it and make it a thing of beauty that people appreciate. And I know there are people that have been evidently tickled to have their barns or their buildings, not just barns, but buildings, iconic become an icon of the barn hunter. Something that's posted out there that and they're proud to share it. And you tell us how you got started, whatever you want to tell us, and how you got started, how you came to love photography, whatever you want to talk about. Go ahead, Cal.
Well, first thing I want to say is I have really enjoyed this series you've done on photographers that contribute to Georgia folk and farm life. You had Anthony Jackson on there. He's just an awesome photography that just creates what I think are pieces of art through composite photos and regular photography. He's just a very talented young man in the photography world. You had Cedric Bacon on there, I've watched some of his work. Just an outstanding portrait photographer. You had Scotty Womack on there. I call him the master of dirt road photos. I love road shots, especially dirt road shots. And Scotty has mastered shooting dirt road scenes. He does wonderful black and white work. And from what I understand, he's a pretty good cook, although I haven't personally experienced any of it, and I can't attest to it. I've been told he's all right as a cook. And then my good friend Greg Threet you had on, I believe he was the first one you had on here. And I'm just blessed to be able to call him my friend. He and I have ridden together many times. I first met him at the Wiregrass Historical Society back in 2018, and since then he and I have just become just really close. His great ability, in my way of thinking, is not just his photography, but he puts the right words to inspire and encourage people to each picture that he posts. He's got a knack for just being able to say the right thing that fits whatever photograph he puts out there. Now, as far as me, I got started in photography in 2010 when my wife and I, for our 30th anniversary, we drove to the West Coast and back. When we came back from that, I dabbled in it a little bit. I was still teaching at the time, didn't get real serious about it. But when I retired in 2013, I decided that I needed to focus on something. I've always, and I still do, take pictures of a lot of different subjects: waterfalls, mountains, road shots, rural scenes, farmhouses. But I wanted to focus on something. And I had a good Facebook friend and a guy that was in several of the groups I was in. His name was Gary McDaniel from over in he lives over in North Alabama. He's probably the best barn photographer I know of, and he and I have been friends for probably 10 or 12 years over Facebook, talked on the phone many times. 2 weekends ago, I finally got to meet him face to face. If it hadn't been for him, I never would have become the barn hunter, because his work inspired me to focus on barn photography. And, but due to health reasons, he doesn't photograph as much as he used to. And, but man, he was my inspiration. Then, when I retired from teaching, I started my Facebook page called The Barn Hunter. And you know, I don't post just barns. I do a lot of other things too. I like I said, I like waterfalls. I like the mountains. I like old farmhouses. I like rust. I mean, a rusty lock, a rusty gate, a rusty hinge, just most anything rusty I like. So, and dogs. I mean, I love photographing dogs. They make great.
That's great.
Yeah, and but anyway, I've developed a pretty good following on my Barn Hunter page. I think I got somewhere between 12 and 13,000 followers. And I know you probably think of the people that that follow your page the same way I do my page. They are the best people in the world. You wouldn't believe the encouragement I get from the messages I get from my followers.
It's life changing, isn't it? It is.
Oh,
it's
it
life
is.
changing.
It is.
Having a network of people like that.
And it's just like just to give you an idea of two things. What keeps me going with what I do, and don't misunderstand me. I really appreciate everybody that compliments one of my pictures, saying it's beautiful or nice composition or whatever they say about it. I really appreciate it. But what really keeps me going let me give you two examples. Several years ago, I posted a picture of just a simple rocking chair on a porch, some trees and some nice clouds in the background. Fairly, I thought it was a fairly nice picture. But a lady came on there, and her comment was this: I can see my grandmother sitting in that rocking chair, and me and my cousins playing around her, and her laughing and cutting up with us. Now, when somebody makes a comment like that's worth everything to me. Another lady sent me a private message, and she said, "I just wanted to let you know that I'm limiting my time on social media because she just gets upset about stuff." She says, "But when I go to your page and look at your photographs," she says, "my breathing slows down and I get a sense of peace." Now, when people say something like that about my photos, I feel like I've done my job as a photographer. It brings tears to my eyes, and like I said, it makes me feel like I've done what I need to do. I've always had. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say it made me think. We quick to condemn social media and Facebook has its downside, but everything that man ever created, I don't care if it's a knife or a light bulb or a wheel, it can be good or ill, and it has been, it will be abused, and it will be great things done with the same objects or the same invention. And Facebook is like that. There's a lot of junk on there and stuff. But there's no way you could do what you've done. There's no way I could do what I have done, and there are countless others that do just what you're talking about. They provide a cathartic, therapeutic service to people that are hungry for it. And your photography does it. I do it sometimes when I write something and people say, "Oh, it just took me back to my grandparents' house," or whatever. And so, yeah. It's rewarding, and it's Facebook, and people think one thing about Facebook sometimes, but there are places like the Barn Hunter and all the ones we've talked about where people go, and really it really is cathartic and therapeutic. And look here, is it time for our break, Matt?
We can take it in 2 minutes. How about that?
All right,
you want to take it? You want to take it now?
No, I just didn't want to interrupt Callie because I was fixing to throw it back to Callie.
I know the owner. It's good. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
thank you.
The thing about Facebook and any other social media way is what you make out of it. You can make it for evil, or you can make it for good. That's right. And I choose to make it for good, and disregard the evil. Some folks put poison out there. Some folks spread fertilizer out there, and I choose to spread fertilizer.
Well, it shows in your quality work, and you have great encouragement when you see the the fruits of your labor. You could do this in anonymity, and just a few people you knew would be aware of it. But social media, Facebook, gives you a place this is new. We talked about that with each of the photographers, that you come in with your work at a time in history, for the first time in history, that you can share it with thousands in an instant. That's so amazing. We take it for granted now, but 10 years ago that was almost unheard of or unthought of, and so it's good that the timing that you have been blessed with this vehicle. All right, Matt, we'll go on the break now, and we'll come right back, Cal. Hi, this is Wade Peoples from Georgia Folk and Farm Life Radio. I'm here to tell you about Meeks Brothers Cattle Company, and you don't have to worry about supply chain issues or where your beef comes from. Do what I do and call Meeks Brothers Cattle Company today. You can get a whole, half, a quarter, any amount of beef you want. Good quality beef, vacuum packed, lasts up to 3 years in your freezer. It's grass-fed, grain-finished, made to order. Visit Meeks Brothers Cattle Company on Facebook today and tell them Brother Wade sent you. And that's Meeks Brothers Cattle Company. Thank you.
All the best country.
Georgia Radio. Everywhere you go.
All right, we're back here with Matt and me, Wade here, and Conway is chewing on my hand. And if you hear him in the background, it's okay. He's the baby, and it's his house. I just live in it. But we're back here with Cal Avery, and Cal is better known to many as the Barn Hunter and the founder of that Facebook group, and the amazing work that he has done, and others that are part of the Barn Hunters. Talk about how some of the trips y'all taken and the fun y'all had.
Well, I kind of got sidetracked a while ago and didn't talk about the Georgia Barn Hunters. Back in 2016, I became good friends with a couple of photographers from North Georgia. One's named Brian Nowak. Another one's by the name of Mike Sussman. We met up in Greene County and toured and just rode the back roads of Greene County and Putnam County up in there. And Mike was the one that actually dubbed three of us the Georgia Barn Hunters. Well, about a year later, we all became friends with another photographer by the name of Paco Alvarado. That lived near in the Atlanta area, and the four of us started riding together. Riding, we tried to meet once or twice a year in a different part of the state to photograph, and we kind of kept it to the four of us, not because we wanted to exclude anybody, but with four of us and photography equipment, that's about all that would fit in my truck.
Right.
So now, Greg Three is aspiring to be a Georgia Barn Hunter, and I guess you can kind of say he's might be an internship right now. But we try to meet up, and you never know what we're going to come across. I'm the one that knocks on doors to get permission to photograph things. I'm not afraid to. I meet very few strangers, and I got that from my dad. I remember when we used to go when I was growing up. We go to the mountains on vacation. My dad, being an ag teacher, if he saw a farmer out in the field or somewhere around his barn working with livestock or anything, we were going to stop. And my dad was going to talk to him about what his farming practices were, so he could bring that back to the classroom with him. So. When I learned that most people will speak before they shoot, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I've made a lot of friends, made a lot of connections with people that I never knew before I did this. I mean, I've got so many people that I'm friends with now, whether I've met them personally or not, or at least on Facebook through photographer friendships, that I never would have known, never would have had a relationship with if I didn't take my camera out and go try to take pictures. And then of course, our son and his family moved to Ireland in 2016, and I'll tell you something. If anybody that's listening to this ever has the opportunity to go to Ireland, I highly recommend it. It's one of the most beautiful places you'll ever see. The people are friendly, and driving on the left side of the road ain't all that hard. It can be done.
I do that a lot, Cal. I do it each day, every day. I drive
you do it over here, don't you? But anyway, couple other things I'd like to share, if you don't mind. When I started as a barn hunter, I set 3 goals for my photography. One was to have a record of old structures that are not going to be with us forever. In fact, I've got photos of some barns that are no longer standing now. Also, one of my goals is when people see my photographs, I hope it brings back a fond memory to them. Just like I talked about earlier, the grandmother, the lady that could see her grandmother sitting in that rocking chair. Memories of playing in a barn that was owned by their family. Just bring back fond memories. And the third goal is I want to encourage others. Doesn't matter if you have a camera or not. That's neither here nor there. I want to encourage people to get out and ride the roads and see what's around the next curve and over the next hill. There, just like right here in Emmanuel County, we've got so much beauty here. I know Lambs Bridge Road is as pretty a road as you'd ever want to ride. Panucci Road is as pretty a road as you would ever want to ride. We don't have the big vistas that you see in the mountains, the big panoramas and the big overviews. But we've got some pretty country right here in Emmanuel County. So many roads. Just get out and ride them and look. It's just like with my barn photography. When I first started, I thought I was going to have to get way away from Emmanuel County to find barns. But what I found out was, this is what I learned. There are barns here in Emmanuel County that I rode by all my life that I never saw them till I started looking for them.
You didn't have an eye for them. You didn't have that's right.
I didn't have an eye for them. Back in the day, I didn't have an eye for them. But when I decided I wanted to photograph them, we've got beautiful barns all over this county. We've got beautiful farmland all over. Go ahead.
Working for my dad for 20 years, dumping in 14 counties around Emmanuel and been logged in and driving a truck. I've been on about every back road in all the counties around. And I know where a lot of these places are and knew a lot of the old people that had old places and we stumped their land, we logged their land. I've just got a lot of family connection like you do. And you think like I say, the area, but it's still, I guarantee you're constantly surprised and amazed to find something you didn't know about on a building or a barn or an old house or something on a back road that maybe you weren't aware of. And also, that's great when you do that. But like your trip to Alabama last week, when you go to a totally new place, that's exciting, ain't it? I mean, it's really exciting. And so talk about what you would talk about what's around the next bend. What thrills you the most doing what you do?
When you come up on something unexpected. I mean, I've come up on things on roads that, and when I say something unexpected, I'm talking about a beautiful old country farmhouse, a beautiful barn you didn't know that was there. But along the lines of what you were saying, Wade, we moved here in 1959 when my dad became the ag teacher here at Swainsboro High School.
He was from Lawrence County, right?
He was from Lawrence County, correct.
That's what I thought.
And,
cool.
But so I've been in this county since 1959. And do you know, to this day, I still, every once in a while, find a road that I have never been on.
Wow.
It's amazing. Of course, we got a big county.
Cal, when I started hauling stumps for my dad, driving a truck in 1978, Emmanuel County had 1,500 miles of dirt roads, which it was said to be more miles of dirt road in Emmanuel County than there were miles of paved road in New York City. Now, whether that was true or not, but we had about 600 wooden bridges back then, too. We don't have but one.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you find, even myself, as many as years as I spent working the back roads, I do, too, find a road once in a while that I'm seeing. I've never been down that one and go down it and like, wow.
Right. Now, if I can have just a minute, there's a couple other things I want to mention.
All right, we got about 5 minutes, and I'm going to let you have this 5 minutes. I'm going to hush and let you talk.
This probably won't take that long. I've told y'all the goals of my work as a photographer.
Right.
But now my page, The Barn Hunter, I've got a purpose for it too. You may call it a goal. I call it a purpose. We live in a time of upheaval, political uncertainty, just lots of stuff going on. Information overload that we didn't have back in the day when we were growing up. So the purpose of my page is I always want it to be a place that people can come to, visit, relax, enjoy what they see, basically come up on my porch, pull up a rocking chair, get you a glass of sweet tea or lemonade, and forget about the cares of the world for a little while and just enjoy what you see. That's the purpose of my page. Just be a place that you can come to and relax, not have all these outside influences bombarding your mind and troubling you. Just come and chill for a little while. A lot of times people will ask me, what advice do I have for people that want to get into photography? And I got 3 pieces of advice for them. First of all is, I was told a long time ago that the secret to getting a good image is to take a lot of them. You can do that in this digital time easier than you could in the film days. So take a lot of pictures. I may take 10 or 12 pictures of the same barn from different angles, different camera settings, and I may wind up keeping maybe 2 or 3 of them. So take a lot of pictures. Another piece of advice, if you want to get into photography, is become friends with other photographers on social media. I found that the vast majority of them are eager to ask questions, eager to help new people with advice, how to do this, how to do that. So become friends with other photographers. And thirdly, and most importantly, never compare yourself to other photographers. Everybody has a different style. You develop your style and what you're satisfied with. If you're happy with it, that's what's important. That's what's important. One other thing I would like to mention and invite people to, if I can put a plug in for this, I've been blessed. Are we still good on time?
We got a minute or two, yeah.
Okay. All right. I've been blessed. I've been asked to display my work at the Emmanuel Arts Council in the months of September and October on North Green Street. It's located between Stewart's Jewelers and the Old Dixie Theater. On September the 22nd, from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock, will be a drop-in, open house, meet and greet type thing, and anybody that lives close enough by. I just want to invite y'all to come and see some of my work. I'd be grateful and honored if you do.
That's a big deal.
We want to post that, and we want to post that when it gets closer on Georgia Folk and Farm Life. I think we talked the other day about not posting too far in advance. It doesn't work well on Facebook to do things too far in advance, but please
That's right.
remind me. And Cal, if I haven't already given you post pre-approval, I will try to remember to do that so you don't have to worry about getting a post approved. Anything you want to put on Georgia Folk and Farm Life, we'll be glad to have and be proud of it. Listen, I've enjoyed this. Cal, I wanted you on at the last to wind up this series on photographers and photography and it's meant a lot to Georgia Folk and Farm Life. Now, it pictures and words is all there are. That's it, pictures and words. And we have both, and we've been blessed with you and so many others that have contributed. And we want to encourage you to contribute more, do as much as you want to. That's what it's there for. And promote your stuff on Georgia Folk and Farm Life anytime if we could be of help. But that's why I wanted you to wind this series. We did this series because photography has been such a big part of our success. And the photographers, we wanted to get to know each of y'all a little better. And I appreciate each of y'all coming on. And Cal, it's been a blessing to have you on tonight. We appreciate it so much.
Well, listen, thank you. I feel honored that you thought enough of me to invite me on the program, and I am very, very grateful.
Well, we thank you very much, and we'll see you on Facebook, Cal. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. There we wrapped up another great show here on Georgia Folk and Farm Life, the radio show here on Georgia Radio. Go to My Georgia Radio and get the app on your phone. We've got one for iPhone or Android.
Yeah, look in the store there for the My Georgia Radio app. Don't go to My Georgia Radio. That'll bring you to georgiaradio.com. Now that we've thoroughly confused you, open your app store and punch in My Georgia Radio.
Yeah, just made poor Wade look like an idiot. No, I did that a long time ago.
You did that all.
Wait a minute.
You did that all by yourself.
I didn't need a professional help to
listen,
do that.
Tomorrow morning, I've got Miss Hilda on from the North Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds, and they have all kind of stuff going. You want a day trip for the log truck? You've got to run up there this weekend and see them. The fair starts this weekend. Also, Dick Flood's going to be at the
great event. It really, I've been
huge.
up there. It's beautiful.
And go see Dick Flood down in Perry this weekend at the Buckarama. He's going to be there. Our buddy Dick Flood will be there.
We may go to that.
Why don't we come on and go with me Friday?
Might do that. Get with me.
You're not going to go with me Friday. You're going to be driving logs. Don't even lie to me. Don't even lie to me. Don't even pretend. I'll see you Saturday out there, baby. How about that?
Yeah, text me and let me know how it goes. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
The Buckarama.
Hey, shout out to Meeks Brothers Cattle Company, too. Thank y'all for making this possible. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
All the best country.
Georgia Radio. Everywhere you go.